Hey, what's good? JV back in the house with another crypto news alert. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the reasons why Bitcoin will hit $100,000. You have experts like Tom Lee predicting it, like Anthony Pompliano predicting it, like the Maverick John McAfee predicting it, the Winklevoss twins predicting it, Max Kaiser predicting it. In this episode, we're also going to be talking about this visualization perspective, putting everything into a bubble, because I believe everything is a bubble, and you got to see this to see how small. We're just a grain of sand, a speck, compared to how big the market truly is when you actually take a look and analyze this. I mean, real estate is 217 trillion. So we're going to be talking about that. The reasons why Bitcoin could hit and why I personally believe it will hit $100,000. We'll be discussing that. And this is a pretty big deal. Bitcoin is now the 11th largest money in the world. And congratulations to the Bitcoin network hash rate hitting an all-time high of 80 Quintillion for the first time. Hopefully I said that right. We're also going to be discussing this report, which was just published by CoinShares, sharing their crypto research. There's a lot of very valid data for us to analyze. And of course, we're going to follow up with yesterday's story with the ByNance KYC hack. Well, now an extortion gone bad inside ByNance's negotiations with the KYC hacker. So if you find that interesting, pay close attention to this video. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I release a brand new episode every day. So to get notifications of when new videos are released so you can get the latest cryptocurrency news, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Quick reminder about a special promo I'm running. Right below this video in the description, you'll see a link to the Bybit exchange. If you use my referral partner link in the description to create an account and you deposit 0.2 BTC, you will receive $110 as a free trading bonus in BTC. Now, do keep in mind this offer will expire soon and it's not always going to be this sweet. But with that being said, make sure to click the link, take advantage of it. Also, in the description, I'll include a step-by-step video tutorial I just created yesterday teaching you how to long or short Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, or EOS with leverage. All right, let's do this. Right now, you're looking at the daily chart. You can see we do have the exponential moving averages supporting this area. We're having problems breaking the 12K resistance and staying there, currently trading at $11,714. And what we're going to do is change this to the 4 hours so we can get a closer look of where we're at. You notice just, we were just at 12,196 in that area, 12.2 maybe. Then we had a big dump, which could be expected ultimately after a 20% rise for the week in Bitcoin price, which is insane. Then we had a little more dumpage right along this exponential moving average, which it has been floating on. So this is a very crucial time. And let's just also take a look at the 1 hour chart. And this is a crucial time for Bitcoin because it could go one of two ways. We can have another big dump, or it can continue to climb up, which with a lot of the bullish news surrounding us right now, which we're going to be talking about in today's episode, I am leaning more towards Bitcoin continuing to rise. I do feel we're in a clear bull market, and the sentiment of the market right now is very bullish. But with that being said, nobody knows which way shall she go. But let's talk about some of the factors on why I am so bullish on Bitcoin right now and why I believe it will surpass $100,000. Now, this is a pretty cool comparison. The sheer magnitude of how much money there is in the world can be quite staggering and hard to understand. What if you can visualize every market in the world as a bubble? Now, use your imagination here. All right, let's start by looking at the largest market right here, the derivative market, which is currently 532 trillion. A derivative is a financial security with a value that is reliant upon derived from underlying asset or a group of assets. The derivative itself is a contract between two or more parties based upon the asset or assets. That's a pretty large market. Now let's take a look at the real estate market. which is 217 trillion. The vast majority of value in the global real estate market is in the form of houses and apartments. Commercial properties and farms comprise of a total of only 25% of the real estate market. Insane. Now, the global debt, which is staggering, 184 trillion, which 21 trillion of is the US national debt. The largest single type of market is debt, which consists of everything from national debt, mortgages, municipal bonds, and student loans. Now, the global money supply, physical money is 43.2 trillion, and all the money in the world is $95.7 trillion. Over half the world's money exists electronically in deposits at various banks and institutions. The USD only accounts for 1.7% of the money in the circulation. Now, the stock market is a $77.7 trillion market. The world's bourses have recovered nicely since the Great Recession, posting a combined total of 77.7 trillion. Now we take a look at the gold market, which is 7.8 trillion. The value of the gold in the world is estimated to be 7.8 trillion, or roughly 31 times the size of the entire cryptocurrency market. Now let's take a look at the SPEC, which is the crypto market. I believe this is the internet of money, and it's like the late 1980s, early 1990s. You know what I mean? And at the time of this, back in January, it was 120 billion. The crypto market as of today is just over 300 billion, which is still just a speck in comparison to the other bubbles. All right, now let's get down to the article. Earlier this year, the total U.S. stock market cap surpassed 30 trillion. It then lost more than 1 trillion in a single month. Apple was the first company worth over 1 trillion in the modern era. The U.S. national debt surpassed 21 trillion, and the deficit for the next year is expected to add another 1 trillion. But just how big are these numbers? Can we get some perspective? We decided to clarify things with one simple and easy to understand visualization of bubbles. We found the total value of each major market in the world, everything from brand new cryptocurrencies to sovereign debt. Categorizing each asset as a bubble can make you wonder, what if one of these pops? What do you think would happen to the crypto market? Our visualization can help keep things in perspective. The cryptocurrency market is certainly one of the fastest growing and most exciting assets in the world, and indeed, it makes many people think of the 2000 .com bubble. Some even say it's the biggest bubble of all time. But for all the hype, the entire crypto market is worth only a tiny fraction of just the gold market, which is itself only worth 10% of the entire world stock market. The good news? If the bubble has already popped, there's potentially plenty of upside in cryptocurrencies. Now, pundits also spill a lot of ink about the U.S. national debt, which is indeed staggering at 21 trillion. The concept of a trillion is impossible to comprehend, let alone 21 trillion. But now consider all the debt in the world, counting everything like mortgages, municipal bonds. Don't get us wrong, the U.S. debt seems out of control, but it's still less than 10% of the world's total debt load. That being said, a lot of pundits see the massive accumulation of debt as itself a bubble. It would take more than 3 times the value of all the stock markets in the world to pay off the world's debts. Is that sustainable? Even more interesting is the market for derivatives at 532 trillion. Most people know about the role unregulated derivatives played in the housing market crash. In short, derivatives are most commonly used as ways to purchase assets, especially commodities, in the future. They can therefore swing widely in value and at present amount to well over 500 trillion, more than double all the debt in the entire world. Maybe the media should pay a lot more attention to derivatives than every tiny scandal in the crypto market. So as you can see, it's not unrealistic for Bitcoin to hit $100,000. In fact, we're being conservative. This was just published by Forbes, sharing some of the bullish factors for the crypto market. Zuckerberg, Arnold, and 8 other billionaires are 23 billion poorer in a day as the stock market falls. In yesterday's markets, 18 billionaires saw their fortunes drop by $1 billion or more. And with the currency manipulator label, China trade wars move into uncharted waters. Beijing's moves are unlikely to satisfy the White House, which billed China as a currency manipulator in a significant escalation of the trade war between the nations. The next moves in the battle may even surprise the China bears. Interesting times, no doubt. Now check this out. Bitcoin is officially the 11th, which happens to be my favorite number. What's good, yo? Happens to be the 11th largest money in the world. That's pretty big news. As helpfully tweeted by the trader and analyst known as Rhythm, Bitcoin is now the 11th largest monetary supply in the world. That's pretty impressive for a 10-year-old upstart created from an anonymously published 9-page white paper, I'd say. Less is more is less. Bitcoin's mathematically limited supply has seen it being increasingly used as a store of value as an associated climb in price. In terms of market cap, Bitcoin now beats the national currencies of Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Australia, and South Korea. At press time, the value of all Bitcoins ever created was over 0.21 trillion. That is just short of the global supply of Russian rubles. So who's next? After all, Bitcoin is the hardest money ever created. So it stands to reason there are some more scalps in its sights. Well, after Russia is dispatched, the Bitcoin market cap will have to double to topple the next largest supply of India. There's currently over 0.4 trillion worth of rupees in circulation. Another similar increase would be required to overtake Switzerland, 0.6 trillion, and the same again to become more valuable than the current supply of silver, which is 0.8 trillion. At this point, the United Kingdom would also have fallen by the wayside with around 0.7 trillion worth of sterling in circulation. Ain't no mountain high enough. After that, it will probably be time to take a breather. Bitcoin will be the 6th largest money supply, and the price will be pushing $50,000. It's a considerable further jump to the cryptocurrency supply of the United States, which is 3.3 trillion, and the Eurozone, which is 3.6 trillion. Even then, we still have China 4.6 trillion and Japan 4.9 trillion to surpass before we can focus on the biggest prize. While this may seem like some pie-in-the-sky fantasy, models like stock to flow do seem to suggest that Bitcoin's reducing supply of new coins due to reward halving events, which FYI, the next Bitcoin halving is May of 2020, and it's going to be a big deal, right? Could propel the market cap to 100 trillion after 2028. All right, now let's talk about the Bitcoin network hash rate hitting 80 quintillion for the first time. Bitcoin has passed another network performance milestone this week as the largest cryptocurrency's hash rate hit a new record high. Bitcoin secured by 80 quintillion hashes per second. Data from monitoring resources Bitinfo charts confirm Bitcoin's hash rate exceeded 80 quintillion hashes per second August 8th for the first time. Such a level has been reached. Hash rate refers to the amount of computing power used to validate Bitcoin transactions. The more power, the costlier it becomes for malicious actors to attack the network. As Cointelegraph reported, hash rate has set multiple new all-time highs throughout the recent months, reversing a downward trend which characterized the second half of the 2018 Bitcoin bear market. All right, now here is a CoinShares research report, which was just published, which is awesome. And we're just going to take a quick look. And I'll include the direct link for you to download this below in the description. This is very well laid out. Maybe we'll look at some of the graphs together. Let's check out these historical annual returns on the right. As you can see, in 2011, it went up 1,395%. In 2012, it went up 195%. In 2013, 5,421%. Holy shit. In 2014, there was a loss, a negative 56%. In 2015, 33%. In 2016, 125%. In 2017, 1,326%. In 2018, negative 73%. And in 2019, 188%. And you can see the price chart here, the top 5 markets by volume. You can see the monthly by fiat pair. This is really good stuff, and it's just jam-packed with good data. So I'm going to include, again, the link in the description so you can download this, analyze it, and check it out and have some fun with it. Now let's follow up with yesterday's story of the infamous KYC hacker on Binance. Well, this is getting very interesting, to say the least. In what appears to be an elaborate game of hackers hacking hackers, an individual operating under the name Batov Platin has provided CoinDesk with extensive information about their attempts to obtain millions of dollars in exchange for declining to release information about customers of one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, ByNance. Yet, the full story was and remains more complicated than it first appeared. First, it has deep roots extending back to an incident in May when an outside group broke into Binance user accounts and stole 7,000 Bitcoin. At the time, Binance was, as always, public about its problems, describing it as part of a large-scale security breach in which hackers were able to obtain a large number of user API keys, 2FA codes, and potentially other information. We would like to inform you that an unidentified individual has threatened and harassed us, demanding 300 Bitcoin in exchange for withholding 10,000 photos that bear similarity of the Binance KYC data. We are still investigating this case for legitimacy and relevancy. Platin claims they have 60,000 pieces of KYC, know your customer information, in his collection. Holy shit. So how it worked. Of the 60,000 customer accounts Platin alleged were breached, he shared 636 files with CoinDesk. He hoped the media attention would spur Binance to announce the true extent of the hack and bring the attackers to justice. You can see a photo right there. For its part, Binance announced the stolen Bitcoin came only from their corporate accounts and did not affect consumers. At the time, the exchange also suspended deposits and withdrawals to protect users. However, the extent of leaked user information was kept secret. In addition to images of passports, driver's licenses, and actual headshots of users holding up their IDs, Platin also supplied a few examples of metadata associated with the images. So this is pretty serious for him to have this type of information. Who knows, how credible he is in the sense he has 10,000 users' information. I wouldn't doubt him if he's showing you he has hundreds of them and he's releasing the information. Interesting for Binance to see how this plays out. Okay, so Platin supplied the following alleged exchange with Ted Lin where the negotiations broke down, and you can actually read this. I see you already fed the info you have to the media. Given the damage from your FUD campaign is already done, whatever bounty you were asking for the information would be significantly less. As I said, we don't react to extortions, but we're willing to get more information relating to perpetrators if you have useful info that can enable us to put the guys behind bars and recover the funds. And then the hacker said, as I said, I don't need your money. I am out of the deal already. I hope you like my impersonation. I am not expecting you to react either, but I love to see insiders and those hackers' reaction when news is published. Once again, I am not interested in your reaction. And then Ted Lin responded, I thought you want to see those hackers caught. He said, I wanted, but not now. Platin, I'd rather step away and keep watching. Ted Lin, we're still interested in paying for information that can lead to the arrest of the hackers, insiders, recover the funds. Ted Lin, let us know if you have more info and achieve those. We were going through the verification of the type of info you have before you decided not to talk. Let me know if you change your mind and want to continue. Thanks for your help. And then the hacker, then pay me. They're extorting Binance. Holy shit. My decision for negotiation with Binance was wrong, he said. They are not the right people, so I will just publish all the data to its customers. No! Please do something about this, Binance. And then here's another conversation with the hacker. Binance could prevent this from happening, but they didn't. Asking 300 Bitcoin for 10,000 photos, Binance should keep watching how many photos will be uploaded to the channel. I offered them help in many different ways, and I asked 50 coins for each step as a reward. How did I get them? Don't ask me. Ask Binance. From third vendor? It must be kidding. From phishing? Wow, if that's the case, I have top-class phishing skill indeed. And then he went on to say, people keep asking, why are you releasing those KYC photos? How did you get them? The reason I'm releasing those KYC is simple. To warn you people who's dealing in Binance, if I need money, I would sell it underground, not publish it. So what's your thoughts on this horrific story? Would love to read your comments in the description down below. Let's just take a quick look at the market over here at Coin360. Bitcoin is currently down 2.84% in the past 24 hours, currently trading at $11,700. You can see a lot of the coins are in the red. Ether's down 2.5%, XRP's down 1.86%. Then naturally, the exchange coins just continue to rise. Shout out to a Binance coin, even with all this FUD and all this uncertainty with their exchange and the KYC hacking going on. That's pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? So what's your thoughts about Bitcoin reaching $100,000? When do you think that will occur? A lot of the industry analysts say by the end of 2021, it's inevitable. I'm going to go off on a limb and say I personally believe that Bitcoin has the potential to reach $100,000 next year, especially with the halving, which is occurring in May. Because when we look at the history of the halvings back in 2012 and 2016, and I did an episode specifically on the halving Bitcoin predictions. If you haven't watched it, be sure to check it out. So just fathom and think and use your imagination. What if Bitcoin went parabolic after the halving of May 2020 and the prices skyrocket 50x or even 30x, even 20x? What would that do for you in your portfolio? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I appreciate you tuning in. And final reminder that the promo for Bybit, you can currently use my partner link right below in the description. Deposit 0.2 Bitcoin and receive $110 in free BTC for trading. Have fun. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.